So I've been in the cold outbound space for maybe 4 years now, and I would say trust is at an all-time low. So anything that you can do to improve this trust will give you such an edge over your competition. And I think it's going to be the most important thing heading into 2026. So in this video, I'm going to break down what I think is the #1 way to build trust with your cold outbound and how you can leverage YouTube to make more money off your cold email. Cold outbound messages and YouTube content is the perfect match for B2B companies. This is because when you're doing cold outbound, it's inherently low trust, and YouTube content inherently builds trust. They go together really well. B2B YouTube content usually grows slowly at first, but cold outbound creates a steady stream of people who will look you up and discover your channel. Okay, so essentially what this means is you're going to do cold outbound. Some percentage of those people just respond to your messages, and this can be like outbound DMs, but typically when I'm talking about it like this, I'm talking about a decent amount of volume. This is usually cold email because you can scale that way faster, higher, and greater than like LinkedIn outreach. So with cold email, you can send a high volume. Some percentage of them are going to go to your YouTube channel, because when somebody receives a cold email and they are somewhat interested or they've got some time, it's hit them at the right moment. Typically what they do is they just copy and paste the email signature into a Google search results. So if you get a cold email from me, you would literally look this up. And the YouTube channel is one of the first things that you see. And then you're going to come to this channel and you're going to watch a few videos, maybe. Okay. And what those videos do is they build trust. And then when you reply to the email, you are slightly more bought in. You've heard my voice. You've seen how I talk, my mannerisms, how I use my hands, this sort of thing. And that means that the cold outbound message is more important. And that means the cold outbound message is more potent. But it also means that we're driving traffic to YouTube, which when you're doing B2B sales, when you're trying to sell a product B2B, getting traffic to the YouTube channel helps to tell YouTube who the target audience is for this content, so that over a long enough time period, it can then start promoting or pushing your content organically to other people like the ones that you've driven there through cold email. So the typical flow is you send an email, some prospects do some research, and through this research, they find your YouTube channel. We're not necessarily linking the YouTube channel in the cold outreach. I'll talk about some more advanced sort of techniques below where we do something similar to that. But most of the time, the prospect's just organically finding your channel. This allows you to not only generate responses directly from your cold outbound, but it can nurture prospects over a long time, as well as telling YouTube the types of people that are interested in your videos, such that YouTube starts recommending them to similar people. So you can enhance this, right? You can enhance this sort of flywheel here by doing some of the following. So you can add videos to your website. If you go to our website, you'll see that we've got free resources here. And these free resources are just our YouTube videos, right? And they can start watching those. And again, this is going to tell YouTube who is watching those videos. Why this works is, again, when people do some research on your company or on your cold email, they're going to find their way to your website. From your website, you can just link your videos. Another way to do that is if you've got a VSL or some sort of video explainer, you can host the video explainer just in a YouTube embed. It can be unlisted. So for example, this video is not on our YouTube channel, but it is tied to our YouTube channel. So YouTube will recommend them more videos if they watch this unlisted video. So you can send personalized landing pages with these embedded, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. And you can link them in your email signature, but not in the cold outbound from responses, meaning you can do a cold outreach, then they reply, and then when you start this email back and forth in this thread, in your email signature, you can link to the YouTube channel there. You don't want to do it in the initial cold outbound typically, because you can run into deliverability issues by having links in your email, and then also using it in your sales process. And this can be in many forms throughout your sales process. Let's say they've had an initial discovery call and then you've booked them in for a longer call. You might say, hey, I'm going to send over some content for you to watch before we have a longer call. When they watch that content, again, it's going to help nurture them. YouTube's going to recommend that content to other people. So I just want to touch on YouTube as a landing page over YouTube getting organic traffic. So Alex Hormozi touches on this here.
I just feel like organic is so easy to do. So I consider organic to have two levers. So you have like MVP level of how do I have my minimum viable product of organic, which satisfies a different need than using organic as my primary method of acquisition. And so if I use it as like, I have to show that I'm alive and that I can provide value, then the purpose of the organic is lead nurture. So I'm doing outreach as my primary method. But then if you do outreach from a channel that has literally no posts, people will be like, this is a scam, and rightfully so. If you post 3 times a week and you have something that's relevant to your avatar and whatever you sell, then they will, what most people do, most sane people, some of the customers that you have, is that they will click your, if you do outbound, they'll click over to your profile before responding to your email. And they'll be like, what is this guy about? Or what is this gal about? And they'll be like, oh, this guy seems legit. They'll watch 2 or 3 things and they'll come in. And I'm sure if you have any kind of data tracking or any kind of surveys on the way in, they will say that. If you use it as the true, like, I want to generate my demand almost entirely from organic, it's a different strategy. To me, it's a much different level of investment. And so at the base level, yes, one avatar, one channel, one offer. But I think that if you do outreach, it's like it's so low effort just for the MVP level. For the next level, that's a different monster. But just like having enough to show that you're alive, I'm pro.
So you want to treat YouTube initially as a place where people will find you after they've had some touch point. So we're essentially treating YouTube as a landing page. So you're building content with that in mind. You're building content to warm up people who you've done an outreach to, and now they've found their way there, right? This allows you to not be too concerned with your view count on the video and be more focused on making content that is going to provide value and build trust. Think about people that are going to come to you after doing some research from your outbound, or you've maybe run some ads, or they're coming to your referral and they're doing some research about you and they've found your YouTube channel. What sort of content would you like to have on there? And so this is some examples. So this is how we've built our content. This is somebody that we're working with and how they're building their content. And there's 2 typical types of videos that you want to do. One is how-to videos. You're selling a B2B service or product. In order to do that, you have to have some knowledge, information. And so you can say how to do XYZ thing, right? And you're just going to make videos around that. Some examples: how to value a business in 2026, how to write cold email subject lines, how to hire offshore talent, how to solve a problem that your thing solves. These videos show that you know what you're talking about, and also that you're a normal, genuine person, which is a big part of this. You want to come across like a normal, genuine person who someone wants to buy something from. You don't need to portray yourself as some genius with the best product in the world, just that you're a human trying to solve problems and have some solutions. People will tend to not do this because they think that they have to be like superhuman, amazing person to achieve this. You don't. You just have to be yourself, which is fantastic and way easier. Okay, right? And then the second types of videos that you want to focus on is interviews with clients or people in the space. This positions you as an expert or a problem solver. These do not need to be case study interviews, but rather genuine conversations going deeper on the state of the market and what you're seeing. So what I mean by that is people think that they need to do interviews with their clients and the clients need to say that they've changed their life. Like, that's cool, and yeah, that would help, but most people haven't changed anybody's life with their product. So what you can do is you can have a call with your client or people that you've helped, and you can just discuss what's happening in the market. So for example, if we're talking with an M&A firm that we've helped, yeah, we can talk a bit about lead gen, but we can just talk about M&A in general and what they think is going to happen in M&A in 2026 and what marketing trends they're seeing. Why? Because it positions me as somebody that's having these conversations, somebody that is diving deeper on these things. And that is a good way to build genuine trust and rapport. So now I want to talk about a more advanced playbook. And this is that you do outbound. In that outbound, and this is going to be the second email of the outbound typically, you're going to send them to some content. So how we like to do this is you're going to do outbound with landing pages, and those landing pages are going to embed some YouTube videos. So a more advanced way to do this is, yes, people can go on their own journey to find you, but you can also prompt them to find your YouTube channel. So what we're doing is we're testing sending a personalized landing page to each prospect. And the goal of that personalized landing page is direct, right? We want them to book in a call or respond to the email. But in that personalized landing page, we can embed YouTube videos which make it easy for them to watch the content. So you could send an email like this, and we typically do this in the second email to avoid deliverability issues, because this is like a thumbnail GIF, but it's going to be a link. And then they'd click on that, and I've opened it up here, and it's going to say, it's going to be personalized because we can pull in variables. Hey, Hawani, I made a video for you. This is then going to be overlaid on their particular website. We connect hardscaping companies with people that are getting their property ready for sale, and I thought it could be a good fit. First name, if you've got any questions, just get back to me via email. And then we can embed some YouTube videos and say, Hawani, you may find these videos useful. So the goal of that is to show that we know what we're talking about, because these are typically like interviews that we put down the bottom, talking with other hardscapers, this sort of thing. But also it's some externally validated social proof, because nowadays anyone can just essentially fake the reviews and stuff on their website. But when you've got like a YouTube channel with other people interacting and some subscribers and some viewers, it's externally validated. It's very hard to fake. This approach ties in the content as a landing page even further. We're currently using Sender to do this, and there's a link to use Sender underneath this video, and we're starting to feel the benefits for it, but we've not been doing this long enough to have solid data. But I think there's something here. So I don't have enough data to say like, hey, embedding them in these personalized landing pages is definitely going to make you more money. But I can tell you that having a YouTube channel when doing cold outbound is definitely going to make you more money. So I'll come back to you once I have more data on tying it in directly to these personalized landing pages and how that all plays out. If you run a B2B business and you want us to build a system like this out for you and your business, then you can book in a call with somebody in my team below. If you want to dive deeper on this, learn about how we build lists and craft copy and that sort of thing, there should be a 90-minute video on screen now. I'll see you there. Peace.